I think he's always had it in his mind that he's going to be a Major League starter and an All-Star and a Hall of Famer.
With the first selection of the 2018 MLB Draft, the Detroit Tigers select Casey Mize.
It's the best pitch in the draft.
This is going to be the age of the Tigers.
Casey Mize in his Double-A debut, a no-hitter.
It's really good to get back out there and just feel that mound and look at the stadium and just realize that this is what I want on a consistent basis.
I like the Abby right now.
Well, I hope I get to say this for a long, long time. Tonight's starting pitcher for the Tigers is Casey Mize.
1-2 to Moncada. Oh, got him. First of many in his Major League career.
It's safe to say that Casey Mize's start on August 19th of 2020 was one of the most anticipated Major League debuts in Tigers history. At times, it may have felt like the culmination of all that had been building for the #1 overall pick of the 2018 draft. But of course, that day was just the start of what has a chance to be a memorable career in the Old English D.
My goal is to be the best pitcher in the American League. And some people might scoff at that or, whatever. But in my time at Auburn, I had a great head coach in Butch Thompson. And, he was always in the pregame speeches, he was giving us quotes and, things to think on. And one that stuck with me is people don't fail because they aim high and miss. It's because they aim low and hit. And so if I were to set my goals lower and hit, is that a success? If I were to say, I just want to improve from last year. Well, I mean, that's a pretty wide, range of things, So if I set my goals extremely high, and let's say if I missed that goal, if I'm not the best pitcher in the American League, but I was the 10th best, if I was the 20th best, I'll take, that's pretty good. So, I'm kind of one to set my goals extremely high, and if I miss, it's still probably higher than if I were to set my goals low and succeed in that area. So that's something that I've kind of lived by for a while. So I'm going to set my goal extremely high and try to be the best pitcher in the area.
To do so, the former 1-1 pick knows multiple improvements will need to be made following a season which had its highs.
That's a 1-2-3 start for Casey Mize.
And its lows.
And it looks like that's the end of the night for Casey Mize.
However, if the past helps us predict the future at all, don't count Casey out.
When I first got to Auburn in college, my first season didn't go very well. And, I was super motivated to get a lot better. And I finished up my last 2 years there and, turned it around and had some really quality seasons and became a really good player. When I first got to pro ball, my first summer did not go very well. And, I was really motivated that off season. And, that first season I got off to a really good start and, advanced pretty quickly and had a really good year. And so, I'm hoping that the trend continues.
Those within the Tigers organization and even some outside of it believe without a shadow of a doubt that it will for the league's second-ranked right-handed pitching prospect.
If Casey does anything, he prepares and he makes adjustments, and him going through what he did and learning the lessons that he did learn, against the best hitters in the world are going to make him better for the future, and that's who he is.
I think we'll see a better Casey Mize the second time around. I mean, the pure stuff looked fine when I watched him pitch. It's just he wasn't quite as sharp with it. And I think, not to make excuses, but it was such an unusual year for everybody.
As a whole, potentially just trying to do too much from a mental standpoint going into a game. And then within the game, there were certain situations where I probably did try to do a little bit too much and be too fine, which, led to some failure, which is something I learned from. I'm extremely motivated right now, just really putting in some quality work because of that. And it's really cool just to, get, really motivated mid-workout or mid, throwing session or whatever it is. It's just, man, I'm just, really focused right now and really motivated. So I'm excited to see what's going to come from it. I do have plans, to work on the breaking ball, whatever that kind of looks like. If it's a slider, if it's a slur, curve ball, I really just want to have a really just much improved breaking ball. And so, I've reached out to Chris Fetters, the new pitching coach, and I'm excited to work with him. But he's already given me some thoughts and ideas. I think we're going to work through some of that. I definitely have to pound the strike zone more earlier and more often to stay out of those disadvantaged counts from a pitcher standpoint. So that's the biggest thing that I learned, and the way I look at it is there's just a lot of room for growth.
He's extremely committed to being a successful pitcher. He puts the time in. He spends a lot of time thinking about it, and he's all about performing well, and there's no doubt in my mind that he's learned a lot from the opportunity that he had at the major league level this year, and will only get better as time goes on.